Brittney John, and it occurred to me recently that as much as I talk about going out on boats and as much as I post about it on Instagram, I haven't actually made a video about a boat day in Miami. So today I have decided to remedy that and take you along with me on a boat day in Miami. Stephen and I are members of Freedom Boat Club here in Miami. Freedom Boat Club has 4 locations in South Miami. They have one in Fort Lauderdale, they have one at the Miami Beach Marina. They have 2 more that are south of here, one's in the Keys, and then there's another one that's about an hour south of here. I don't remember the names right now, but there's 4 locations. The ones that we use the most, obviously, are the Miami Beach Marina location and the Fort Lauderdale location. The Miami Beach Marina has about 12 boats, so they're a little difficult to get reservations for. You just have to plan ahead quite a bit in order to make sure you get a boat. But Fort Lauderdale has like 40 plus boats. So if we can't get a boat in Miami, sometimes we will take the 40-minute drive to go up to Fort Lauderdale and get a boat there. We just love spending time on the water. We've been members there for about a year now. Really love what the membership brings. What that is A, access to boats, but B, they do all of the maintenance. They take care of the boats, they dock them, they refuel them, they clean the boats. The boats are always ready and clean. We don't have to worry about any of the headaches that comes with owning a boat. We just simply have access to boats when we want them. Every time you take the boat out, you're going to have to factor in the cost of the gas that you're using, as well as whatever it costs you to park if you choose to drive. Ubering is also an option, but then you're also going to be paying for the Uber. So one way or another, every time we take the boat out, there is an additional cost to it. But depending on where we go, we pay $6 to $20 in gas on the boats, so that's not bad. So basically, you just reserve the boat you want, you show up at your scheduled time to be there, and you take the boat out and have a day. So how much does this wonderful convenience cost you? It's actually pretty reasonable. So they have a one-time initiation fee of $5,000. And then after that is $400 a month. And that gives you 4 rolling reservations that you can use to reserve boats at any of the 4 locations in South Florida. They also have a reciprocal program with other Freedom Boat Clubs across the country and across the world, and there's a lot of other locations that you can, for instance, if you're traveling to Chicago, you could reserve a boat at the Freedom Boat Club there as well. There are different rules depending on the different locations that you're going to sometimes. We checked in one in Spain and they have different rules. You had to have like a professional driver or something. But regardless, you still have the option to reserve a boat even if you're going out of town to a different location, which is really nice. When you join, they will also give you 3 trainings on how to drive a boat. So they give you a beginner training, which they'll show you docking, simple driving of the boat and how to get used to the currents and those kinds of things. Miami has some unique challenges to it that they will teach you all about, where you can go, where you can't go, what the signs mean in the water, the green triangles and the red triangles and what that means. They teach you all of that stuff. And then they have an intermediate training where they teach you more advanced technique. And then they also have an ocean training. So in the 3rd and final training, they will take you out on the ocean and certify you for driving the boat on the ocean, which is definitely different than driving a boat in the intercoastals. That's great. It's a free service and you get one-on-one personal training, and I did it. And if I can do it, you can do it. So it's great because even if you've never driven a boat before, you don't have to have any reservations in joining the boat club and having access to boats here in Miami, thanks to Freedom Boat Club. One of the places we like to go to is Nikon Sandbar. Nikon Sandbar is a nice big sandbar that's located near Key Biscayne. It's a great place. There's a lot of places where boats can anchor and you can actually just walk in the water. It's so shallow. and that's a really fun place to go. Very close to Miami Beach Marina is a place called Monument Island, and that is a fun place, very popular spot for people to either beach their boats or anchor. Oh, one thing that I didn't mention about Nixon Sandbar. Nixon Sandbar is also a great place to go to because it has the entire skyline of Miami City in the background, so you get some really great shots there. And then near Monument Island, a little bit closer to the city, is a place called Picnic Island. That's another fun spot to go to. You can beach your boat there, or if there's no space on the beach, which there typically is not on the weekends, you can just anchor and swim around, and it has the skyline of Miami in the background, which is nice. We love going on the boat. We'll take any excuse to. And the weather is typically great. We do check the weather before we go out, obviously. We can almost guarantee that we're always going to get a great day to be out on the water, no matter what time of year it is. And more so, Freedom Boat Club will, if the weather is too treacherous, they will cancel all reservations for the day and close the dock. And that has only happened to us about 3 times. It does not happen very often, and you can pretty much always guarantee that it's going to be a great day on the boat weather-wise. Sometimes we have run into an occasional shower, but they usually pass quickly, and if you're paying attention to the weather, you can sometimes go different directions, and then depending on where the shower, storm, or thunderstorm is going, you could miss it entirely. And then the other thing that we like to check before we go out on the water is where the tide is at. We use a very simple free app that just shows us where the tide is at, and that will give us a good idea of, like, if we're going to a sandbar, how much depth we're going to need to anchor the boat in, whether or not the tide is going in or out. I have checked the tides for today, and today the tide will be at its highest when we leave, and it will be at its lowest when we are coming back. And that not only determines what the sandbar is going to be looking like, so if we did go to a sandbar, it would be at its highest point when we got there, and it'll continue to get lower and lower and lower as we stay there. It also determines which bridges you can go under depending on the size of your boat. And they teach you all this stuff in their classes, so I don't need to explain it for you in this video. Just go join and you'll understand. Our reservation is for 2 p.m. today. On the weekends, you can get half days. On the weekdays, you can reserve it for a full day if you want to, or you can reserve it for a half day, but that's another thing I should mention. You can only take the boat out from sunrise to sunset. So depending on what time sunrise is how early you can take it out, and depending on what time sunset is how late you can take it out. But on the weekends, you can only take it out for half days, because obviously that's the more popular time to take the boat out. So our reservation starts at 2 p.m. today, and then we'll end at sunset, which is around 8 o'clock. It's a nice period of time to be out on the boat. Similarly, if we had taken it out in the morning, we could have taken it out as early as sunrise, which I think is around 6:30 a.m. Don't quote me on that, but it's early. And then you would have to bring the boat back at 1 p.m. So there's an hour in between time for them to clean the boat, make sure it has gas in it, all of this stuff. So our reservation's at 2, and I will check it closer to that to show you kind of how we prepare all of the things that we like to take out on the boat with us. This is the weather we're dealing with today. As you can see, there are already people heading out, and we are about to do that as well. But first, we have to pack up all of our things. Steven is getting ready.
Pack the cooler.
Packing the cooler. We always pack this cooler up with ice and drinks, and it works really well. It's a little backpack, so we can just carry it on and off the boat really easily. Love that. And then I always have this bag ready to go. It has some water shoes, lots of sunscreen. This is more sunscreen, and also corkscrew for wine bottles, and a knife for charcuterie should we bring any. This is just a wrap. More sunscreen, spray on sunscreen. I have a trash bag for when we're on the boat. Lots of wipes for our sunglasses. This is bug spray. just lives in here just in case, and more sunscreen. And then on top of this, we'll put 2 or 3 towels. A lot of times we like to bring an extra towel just in case someone joins us and didn't bring it with them. And then I also like to bring my sun hat, and then that just fits inside there, ready to go. And then we also always bring our bag with the speakers. We have 2 of these speakers. They're reasonably priced for going out on the boat every weekend, but they sound great, and we use the little straps to attach them to the top part of the boat. I will show you that later. Then we always have music when we're out on the boat. What? Oh. Well, I guess I won't show you that, but but that is something that we usually take with us. I think a lot of the fishing boats don't have, or the center consoles don't have speakers, but the one we're taking today does have speakers, and they actually work really well. So, and then I think that is basically everything that we bring. We don't typically bring food. There is a small snack shop at the marina if we want to grab anything there, but typically what we'll do, Monty's is right at the Miami Beach Marina, and it has great food options. You can get that to go, and we can take that on the boat with us. Also, there's a couple places that we can boat to over in No Name Harbor on Key Biscayne. There's a restaurant there. There's also a bar there that serves light snacks, and that's a great place to kind of hang out and watch the sunset. Then there also, as a last resort, there are pontoon boats out in pretty much every area that's popular in the intercoastals here that sell food. That is a, absolute last resort. I don't recommend the food, but if you need it, it's filling and it'll get you through the day. So that's always an option. And this is Miami boat culture. There are many great benefits to being out on the water in Miami. Not only the amount of vitamin D that you're getting every single weekend, people are always waving, always having a good time, and it's really easy to meet new people as well as show your friends a good time on the boat. When we have people come and visit us, it is a great way to show them the city without having to wait for reservations or deal with traffic or anything like that. There's so many sights that you can see of Miami from the water, and it's a really unique perspective to be able to share with our friends. Just being out on the water has its own way of relaxing you. Basically, you only have what you've brought on the boat with you, so you have to leave everything else at home. You have to leave your problems, you have to leave your projects, you have to leave everything and just be present out on the water and enjoying yourself. Today we didn't go very far from Miami Beach Marina. We are actually very close to Monument Island. There is actually a monument there to Henry Flagler. Henry Flagler was basically the founding father of Miami. He had a vision of the city as being the international hub that it is. There's a short little path that takes you to the monument. It's a nice place to anchor your boat and hang out for the day. Water temperature in Miami ranges from about 74 degrees in the winter to 85 degrees in the summer. Steven and I both prefer the 85-degree water temperature in the summertime, so we're really happy that the water temperature is starting to warm back up. Right now, here in May, it is about 78 degrees, and so it's back into that comfort zone where it doesn't really shock you too much to get in the water, and the sun is warm enough to keep you warm after you get out of the water. So that is very nice. In the wintertime, when it's 74 degrees, it's a little uncomfortable for us Miami folk. As you'll notice, today we are on a deck boat. This is one of the 12 boats that Freedom Boat Club has at Miami Beach Marina. They have a variety of boats there. They have center consoles, they have deck boats like these, and they also have pontoon boats. They also just acquired 2 Zodiac boats, which are a little bit smaller than a deck boat, but they're very fast and they ride kind of higher up on the water. The center consoles are great if you want to cut through waves. They're also oftentimes used for fishing, so there's definitely a variety of those, and those are very popular boats to take out. We like this deck boat. This is actually our favorite deck boat. The speakers work, as I mentioned earlier in this video. There's a lot of seating, cuts through the water well enough to have a comfortable ride. Very nice option for a boat. So there are police boats here. It's another thing I wanted to say. It's very well monitored by police. I don't often see police boats chasing anyone. They're just kind of out here to make sure that people obey speed limits in no wake zone. They just kind of monitor things. We just saw a couple jet skis passing through this area a little too high speed, and then the police boat told them to lower things down. It makes it, you know, safe for everyone to be out here, and if you have a problem, they're here to help. The only time I've ever seen police boats actually chase something is not when we were on the water. It was at night, and I've seen it from our building, I've seen it from some other people's buildings, and I always wonder what kind of story is going on there, because I've never seen them do that during the day. Very well monitored out here in the intercoastals of Miami. It makes for a very pleasant day on the water with everyone else. I hope you enjoyed spending a day with us out on the boat today. I hope you learned a little bit about what boating in Miami is like. This is actually not a super typical day out on the water in Miami. Usually we always have people that are joining us on the boat, and so it's not just me and Steven, and I don't have the opportunity to talk to you guys as much. But we had a super relaxing day out on the water, and I hope you learned a little bit about what it's like to be out on the water on a boat in Miami. There's lots of options, as you can tell. There's ferries, there's cruise ships, there's charter boats, there's tour boats, pontoons. There's just a lot of options to get out in the water. Already got my swimsuit and our towels washing in the laundry, so I'm gonna go take a quick shower and rinse off the salt water, and then we're gonna enjoy the rest of our evening. So leave me a comment below if you have any questions about the boat club or anything else about getting out on the water in Miami. If you follow me on my Instagram at Brittney John, I post a lot about our weekends out on the boat, so you'll always see more boat content in Miami on there. So please do follow me. I'd love to have you there as well. If you appreciated this video, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe. Either one, I'd appreciate it, to let me know that you want to see more content like this. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.